All right, found Gigi. How's it going today?
All right, how are you guys?
Doing all right. Is today any better than yesterday?
Well, the same.
Same. Okay. Any highlights this week?
Highlights?
Yes.
Nothing far from, everyday, shit.
Okay. So I've prepared some questions. So what is your most obtainable New Year's resolution?
Obtainable. To actually put some things into action, not just talk about them, but actually do them.
Okay. It's like what?
Getting up out of here.
Okay.
Going to rehab. Things like that.
So you're interested in methadone?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I want to take that route of getting clean and the whole, recovery process and how I want to go about it. But, I got some ideas, but I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it.
So what I'm thinking is there's a methadone clinic in town here. We've spoken to them once or twice.
Right.
And they allow people to get on methadone without their ID as long as they have Medicaid, right?
I've heard that, yeah.
And they'll allow you to get on it for about 2 weeks and give you 2 weeks to produce an ID.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to go on methadone and then decide you wanted to go to a rehab or, some sort of other means of getting clean.
Right.
Is that a first step, or should you start with the other step and see where it takes you?
I have no idea. All I can say is my sister used to be out here, and I've talked about that with you guys before. And the only thing that she's instilled in me that I want to make sure that I do is just like take it one step at a time and not to overwhelm myself, because she's told me that it will do that. And just thinking about it, I get overwhelmed. Like, where am I going to start? What's the first step? So I'm just going to try to do that and just play it by ear and hope everything else falls into place.
I guess the first step would be deciding that today's the day. I mean, that's always going to be the first step, and then start working. I mean, because you could kick this can down the road for 15 years, So,
right.
And, people say it all the time, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. And I'm not really sure what they're waiting for to be ready, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's already cold out, and it's already...
Yes, man, it's the actions, putting it, not just words, not just talking about, but feeling motivated, not depressed enough. You force yourself, basically,
I think sometimes they just tell us what they think we want to hear.
Yeah.
When really we're out here to try to help you guys out, If you're looking to get clean, we want to try to help you get clean. Right. Not just put your videos up on YouTube.
Right.
We actually we're out here to help,
I've actually caught myself doing that. I watched my videos. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, of course, yeah.
All right.
I was curious how it turned out. And I'm like, oh my God, I sound like, I'm just what you said. Telling you what you guys want to hear. And I want to be me. Like, I want to be more real. But it's just, I'm scared, you know what I mean? Like, I'm scared to be judged, or how people look at me, or how I'm perceived, or, I look terrible. I'm not afraid to admit that. I look like shit,
Yeah, but you're your best judge. I mean, basically, you're the only one that's responsible for judging yourself.
Right.
Who cares what those people, and, there's always going to be negative people. But maybe if you, did you look at the comments on your video? No? Or you did? Okay, so there should be some inspiration there. I mean, people really want to see you guys get clean. Nobody wants to see anyone else living like this,
Yeah.
So let's see, how has living on the streets changed you the most?
Changed me the most. Definitely more self-aware. I would say that. Definitely more self-aware. Just growing, you know what I mean? As a person, as an adult, realizing that what I'm doing, watching what I'm doing, observing other people, and you look at somebody, you're like, oh my God, do I act like that? Do I look like crazy? Just different things like that. And it's a good thing, it's a really good thing. It really is. It's really changed me, like how I think and how I'm, perceiving things.
I heard from someone else that they're putting horse tranquilizer in some of the fentanyl now.
Yeah.
Like, who wants to do that?
Honestly, I think it's because they just want to put people, when they purchase a product, make them tired and feel like they're nodding, like that fentanyl nod that is popular out here, so that they'll, dip out, who knows, you know, they can, it could be it sounds crazy, but it's Camden, you know what I mean? Maybe so they can rob them or make them want to purchase more shit, so they want to buy some powder and turn to wake themselves up. Who knows? You know?
Right.
But it's true, yeah. It's really crazy out here. The people that I watch that are, you know, on that stuff, I won't want to feel that way, so I don't get it.
It's just confusing for someone on my side of the camera, because if I go to the pharmacy and get aspirin and then I hear, hey, you know what, they're putting, you know, fentanyl in the aspirin, I'd be like,
Right.
what? Like,
Right, scared.
hello? Yeah.
Right.
Or
It's
only
crazy.
this pharmacy puts fentanyl in the aspirin and not this other place. So you know what I mean?
Right.
It just seemed really odd that people would, you don't know what's in whatever it is that you're buying.
You don't. You're taking a chance. Every time you inject yourself or put anything into your body, you're taking a chance of
And whatever else
jeopardizing
they're,
your life.
and whatever they're cutting it with. You know, they
Right.
could be cutting it with something to stretch it, you know
Right,
what I
and
mean?
you could be on something, and then it would co-interact with, you know, whatever medication you're taking, and you die. It's crazy.
Right.
True,
And-
though.
And they could have cut it wrong, and that shot could kill you.
Exactly.
You know, it just seems like it's such a lottery. You know.
It is.
Now-
Russian roulette.
Now, when you buy, you typically buy from the same person.
I personally do, yeah, because for that reason, mostly, I know what I'm getting, you know, for the most part. So yeah.
Okay. So there's a little bit of trust there. Do they give credit too?
Sometimes, but not often. Usually only when you get an abundance, which for me ain't much often.
So what's the most responsible thing you've done this week?
Oh God. Most responsible.
Of course, it's subjective. So
Girlfriend waving. God, that's a toughie.
it is. I'm putting you on the
That's
spot here.
terrible. Yeah, you are. But it's all good, you know. That's terrible. It's taking me this long to think of that. I guess one thing I could really say that's good about me as a person out here, like, despite being an addict, I love so hard. Like, I care about people. I'm not like your typical, stereotypical addict. I care about people. So there's been a couple times this week where I've seen somebody that was in harm's way, just like today, right before I met up with you guys. A friend of mine did too much powder, and he was scared that somebody was coming to get him, and I made sure he was okay and didn't get hit by a car.
Well, that sounds responsible.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Like I said, it's subjective. Yeah. So, you know,
Right.
So what do you say to people that think you're just out here avoiding responsibility?
Fuck.
Because some people think that's the only reason you're out here.
You're right. You're right. And I may be, but guess what? That's how I'm coping with it. With whatever I'm going through, my pain, my hurt, my whatever. If that's what I need to do to deal with my problems and not, I'll be honest with you, I've lost count how many times I've thought about killing myself this past week.
That's horrible.
It is, but it's how I'm coping with it, so, you know.
Well, that's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Exactly. And I have a son, you know, and that's what keeps me going. The thought of him and my sister, she used to be out here, you know, and I just think about, it's not worth it. It's not, I'm better than that. I deserve a better life. Everybody deserves to be happy. And why do I keep depriving myself of that? I'm self-sabotaging. I know that.
Right. Well, that's
It's not working no more, you know? It's not.
right. Well, that
It's
leads
not.
me to my next question: is how sustainable is this lifestyle? You know, we've
not.
talked to people that have been out here 3, 4, 5 years, but I mean, fast forward 10 years. Can someone sustain this life for 10 years? You know,
Absolutely.
what happens when they're 50 years old, 60 years old?
Where you don't make it to that. Yeah,
Right.
It's scary.
I mean, do they really think someone out here 50 years old is going to be able to sell themselves and date and things of that nature? I mean,
Right.
it just doesn't seem like a sustainable lifestyle.
Not at all. Not
So.
at all. It's, but when you're in that, you don't think about that. You don't think about tomorrow. I know I don't. I don't think about tomorrow and think about an hour from now. I'm just in the moment. And if that's, you know, what I need to do, whatever I'm doing, to get through the next couple minutes or the next hour, I'm gonna do it. I'm grown, you know, and that's how I cope. And people judge people every day, and until you walk a mile in a person's shoes and been what they've been through, you ain't nobody to judge anyone, if you ask me.
Sure, right. Well, I think that's all I have. Anything you want to add today?
I'm glad I caught you guys today.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
No problem. Yeah. Well, thanks for your time.
No doubt.
Take care.
You too.